Welcome to the course. Our main goal is twofold. We want to give you a solid overview of codes and their impact on design, while also helping you understand the various aspects of building construction. This course tour video will guide you through how everything is set up on the site so you can find things. When you log in, you'll see this home page featuring announcements that will change from time to time. Over on the side, you'll find a calendar that shows upcoming due dates for assignments so you can easily keep track of what's coming up. And don't forget, you can always reach out to me using the instructor information provided if you have any questions. To get started, you'll want to head over to the course content section. There you'll find most of your materials. Click on the link to open the page. You'll see right away that a few modules are already open and ready for you to explore. I recommend starting with the Getting Started module. It reviews information on how the course is set up. The first thing on your list is to watch the course tour video, which is where you are right now. Feel free to come back and review this video anytime. After that, read the syllabus and complete the syllabus review assessment. Now, don't worry too much about the assessment. It's just a way to ensure that you've read the syllabus. You can even refer back to the syllabus while you complete it. Remember to submit the assessment when you're done, because that will unlock the first module of this course. Going back to the table of contents, under Getting Started, you'll find the Course Tools module. This is where you'll discover some helpful resources, including how to unzip files and how to load files to Talon. Those videos are definitely worth a watch. Throughout the course, we'll be reading through the textbook together, bit by bit. It will be your main source of information, and to help you hit the ground running, your first reading assignments are included in the textbook PDF's zip file. Since we'll be looking at codes and using codes in this course, you'll also find a link here to free online access to the codes. The next resources will help you get set up with Bluebeam and SketchUp. Bluebeam is free for students, and you might already have it from previous classes. But if not, no worries. Instructions are here on how to install it and some tips on how to use it. We'll also be using SketchUp, which is a fantastic tool for visualizing the construction process. I'm almost certain you all have it already installed, but just in case, I've uploaded some guides here to help you out. Don't forget about Microsoft Office for Students too. If you haven't installed it yet, I've got some easy instructions for you. Plus, there's a handy PDF here too that explains how to receive notifications on your cell phone about assignments. Now let's jump back to Getting Started and see what the page looks like after you complete the syllabus review assessment. You'll notice a couple more modules here. As you work through each module, the others will unlock for you. We have a total of 9 modules in the course, each exploring different topics. In Module 1, you'll find the standard layout for all the modules. There's an introductory paragraph that outlines what you'll be working on and lists what book chapters to read for the next module. It is set up this way so you can tackle your current assignments while prepping for what's next. Don't feel rushed to read through all the chapters in one sitting. You can read them a bit at a time. I would recommend, however, to fill out the chapter review as you read. The chapter review is a great tool to help you focus and to gather important information. Once you submit your chapter review, you'll unlock the next module. Below the chapter review, you'll see the module zip file. It's a good idea to begin each module by downloading the module zip file and unzipping it. If you need a quick reminder on how to unzip files, remember there's a resource in the Course Tools module. Each module zip file have both the lecture PDF and all the digital files you'll need for the lecture and the assignments. Our lectures are set up typically to what you've seen in my other classes. There'll be a front cover sheet slide. And then maybe there's some words to read. I would recommend you go through the slides one at a time, read the information, and see if you understand what's going on. Whenever you come to slides like this, let's say, that have a link, and I say look at that, go ahead and look at that. That link is going to be something there. It's not necessarily something you need to memorize or take notes on, but look it over and see if you understand a little bit what it's about. Also, we'll have links to organizational things, organizational locations, the Department of Energy Building Foundation Handbook, for example, this one, and there's a PDF in the folder with all the other files, so you can certainly look through that and just basically just take a moment to see how things are done, how things are built. There'll be informative slides, again, just like this, right? There's information there. Nothing needs to be done here other than kind of read it and see if you understand what they're saying and kind of learn from that material. Occasionally, you'll have this that says open the SOG, Slab on Grade, example, SKP file. That's a SketchUp file. It's in your module folder. You've downloaded it with the lecture folder. And then click on the scene tabs. And you just kind of go through those scene tabs and kind of basically just look and have an idea of what's going on. Whenever you come across something you really don't understand what's going on, you're welcome to email me as well. Or maybe if you look at the next few slides, it might open up. Here's another example of a type of a slide. Again, this is going to this site. It's in this particular one, it's about Iowa registration for interior designers. Very good to know about this kind of stuff. So again, nothing you need to do here specifically other than go there and review this site and see what they has to say. This is another example of reviewing information. These are YouTube videos that go over this particular topic. When you get to this in the lectures, it's about interior design and licensure, which is part of one of the readings with the code book. And so this is about specifically your career. So it's worth you looking at it, at least being aware of what has to happen. Again, this is not based on any homework or any test or anything like that. It's just good information for you to know. Again, another link, similar situation, good information for you to know. You'll be working with the building department if you're doing a lot of kind of remodeling work, heavy duty work. So there's a good chance you might have to turn in permits. I've had students actually email me or ask me about how to fill out these forms and such. So I'm showing them to you now, so you're at least you're aware that they exist. And when you do some construction, you might need to submit a building application. Again, when it says something like this, optional video, at that point, I think it's up to you. Do you want to see a little bit more about this, or would you rather pass? If it's an optional video, I let you know. So if it's not says the word optional, I really expect you to watch it. Here, click on this link. So whenever you see anything in the lecture says click on this link, please go click on the link. And then look at the next few slides, because it's probably going to be something about that. Now, these types of slides are very critical for you. So by the time you get to this kind of slide in the lecture, we've talked about some things, we've reviewed some things, and then I come to this one and say, assume we determine our occupancy classification, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I give you some information. And then I say, take a moment to figure this out before going to the next slide. I truly 100% want you to pause and look at your charts, look at your links. There's a link down here at the bottom too if you want, but I think this chart is all you really need to see in this particular one. And do take a moment. Can you get the answer to the question? In other words, we've talked about it in the lecture, you've read about it in your textbook, because you've read about it first. And we talked about it in the lecture, and now we're looking at this slide and saying, can you do this? A lot of stuff we'll be doing in this class, we'll be looking at tables and charts and gleaning information from them. So this is a perfect thing. The next slide will give you the answer, and we'll sometimes even show you how to think through the process. So a good tip, if there's yellow words on a slide, that means there's something you're going to have to take attention to. Here's another example for the yellow words. So there's nothing for you to do other than this. Hey, bottom line, always check the footnotes. So this is something important when you're working through codes to look at the footnotes. I made that a point by making it yellow, and I want to make sure you're aware of that. Now in this particular case, nothing you need to do, but just kind of be aware of that. And as before, you've had in my classes, all assignments have the top level label assignment. Okay? Assignment. that means this is something you will need to turn in for me, or something you have to do on your own or something. And I tell you what I'm looking for. And I tell you what I can't, what I don't want. I tell you these things, and I say upload to Talent. A lot of times, I also give examples. And so here's an example. It's in the module folder. So in other words, I say, well, this is something you've not done before perhaps, and so here's an example of what I'm looking for. Look at the example. A lot of times it gives you ideas how to format it yourself. So this one, for example, I want a Word document or a PDF, all right? That's what you need to submit. On this assignment, it's a little different. I start talking about what we're doing and what we have to do. So in this particular assignment, I start talking to you about, hey, look at the foundation plan on S1 of this particular project. You've downloaded it. And then we go through some talking in this assignment, and eventually get to this slide where it says, hey, open SketchUp and start using it. So just to verify, SketchUp is used in this class to help you visualize, either visualize how the code affects form, or just visualize how construction is. That being the case, it's not really a SketchUp class. We are expecting you to have some skills in it already. I do try to explain a little bit for you, but I don't hold your hand quite as much as I did in the SketchUp class. So just give you a heads up on that. So my goal is not that you have a model that you've done, but that the model you've got done shows me you've understood the construction process or the code issue that we are addressing in the exercise. I hope that makes sense. If not, you're welcome to reach out to me. We can talk more about that. And you can see, again, I show you what to do. Sometimes I will ask you to bring in an entire piece. So this image here is not something you've built. You've only built this little tiny little thing down here. But I say, bring this in because I'm going to show you something, right? I'm going to show you something important to see of this construction. You've already built the little pieces, and now here I want you to bring this in. A lot of times I even show you where you're going to be bringing it into. So this particular element, it's going to be a big one when you bring it in. It'll come to the midpoint of this. And then at the end of an assignment, again, you'll see the word assignment. And this is what you're going to be turning in on that particular assignment. So there's an assignment called Piling Foundation, and you'll be turning in this SketchUp file. Also, as my other lectures in the past you've had with me, at the end I have an assignment recap. Now this recap is for the particular module and particular PowerPoint that you're looking through, the slides you're looking through. So sometimes it's one thing, sometimes it's two things. In this case, I'm showing two things example. Actually, all the examples I took were from different modules. So you're never going to see everything I showed you today in one module necessarily. But again, follow through step by step by step. And remember, you don't have to finish every lecture in one sitting either. Feel free to take breaks as needed based on your schedule. That's the beauty of this online class. Continuing looking through this module, as you scroll down, you'll find the assignment drop boxes. Use these drop boxes to submit the assignments and earn points for the class. The assignments are typically worth 1 point unless noted otherwise. Doing well on these assignments shows that you've got a good grasp of the material. Just check the description for what you need to submit. And be sure to look for more detailed info in the lecture. You can easily find what you're looking for by searching for the word assignment. You'll notice that each assignment has two important dates, the due date and the available date. The due date is the recommended date to submit your work, so you can stay on track. But I totally understand that flexibility is key, and you might need to turn things in a bit earlier or later. You're welcome to submit assignments after the due date. Just keep in mind that the available date is a firm deadline. After that, the drop box will close, and unfortunately, I won't be able to give you credit if nothing is submitted. This setup is a little different from my in-person classes, but it gives you more room to manage your time. When you're ready to submit your assignment, click the assignment name to open the Dropbox. Then you can drop your completed files right in there. And don't forget to hit the submit button. You should receive an email confirmation that your work has been submitted, and I'll take a look at it. If you submit your assignment on time, but need some improvements, you'll start with a grade of 0.1. I'll give you feedback on what to work on and let you know when to resubmit. If you send your revised assignment to me via email by the revision date I provided and have made those improvements, I'll bump your grade up to the maximum. Just remember, if your resubmission isn't in by the revision date that I provided you, the grade will stay 0.1. To keep track of your submissions, head over to Submission Review, which you'll find at the bottom of course content. There you can see all your assignments and the points you've earned, along with any comments I've left for you. This section updates as you submit work. I want to show you some additional features you'll find in our course setup. There's a grade section, of course. Then there's a progress section where you can track what you've accomplished. Also, check out the calendar. It'll give you a heads up on what's coming due. We have a Zoom option available too. If you ever want to get together about an assignment or need help with a question, just let me know and we can set that up. Now let's talk about a good idea to help you set up for this class. One is to connect your laptop to a second monitor. Some students even connected theirs to their TV for a larger screen. Other students have also used a tablet or an iPad. They would use the tablet or iPad to view the lectures or the videos or reading assignments, while they use our laptops to work on the assignments. Lots of students find having two screens super helpful. I also recommend creating a dedicated folder on your laptop to keep all your files organized. At the bottom of your screen, you'll see a little folder button. Click it, and it should look something like this. And scroll down to find the C drive. Click it. Once you're in the C drive, you can create a new folder. You can name it something meaningful to you. After you've created your folder, then right-click and drag it to your desktop. It'll create a handy shortcut right there, making it easy to get to the folder. It might also be a good idea to create a homework folder inside the main folder to keep everything organized, and that way finding files will be a breeze. Well, that's a quick overview of the course. I'm looking forward to see you dive into the modules and learn about codes and construction. Wishing you a fantastic semester ahead.